I'm not on Facebook a ton. I used to be. I've kind of put a lot of that stuff down. It's much more important for me, mentally and emotionally at this point in my life, to have time where I sit down and I put a record on, whatever, just to bring it down, man. Playlisting like crazy, constant playlisting. Just constantly playlisting for something that was going to happen in the future. I'm working tomorrow. Let's make a playlist. Oh, we're gonna drive out to this place on the weekend. Make a playlist. What I started noticing was I was losing my love of a lot of the music that I was listening to. I would go through my iTunes and I'd see bands and I would have their full catalog in my iTunes. No idea who this band was. One day discovered this band, downloaded the entire catalog, listened to it maybe for an afternoon, and that was it, man. My son hit about six or seven. Let's hook up another record player. Let's make some time for music, which is making time for us, in my opinion. I have culled my record collection, like most people with record collections. Now I'm 41. All right, I've been collecting records for a long time. Sentimental. My record collection did grow to kind of a ridiculous number at one point. I remember I had records where I was like, I'm never gonna listen to that. Like, I just had, like, why did I buy it? I bought it because that dude said it was cool. I bought it because somebody said it was rare. I bought it because I thought it gave me some sort of, like, hip, like, street cred to, like, I don't even like this record, but I have it, like, I'm aware. I'm fake woke. And I kind of started doing that again, I think, like, don't get me wrong, I love thrift shopping, man. So when I was younger, like, in the 90s, I started getting pretty, experimental. I would cruise the punk rock section, and I would buy records based on, and I have to apologize. I call it records all the time, even if it was a CD or whatever. I always say records. I'm old, and I don't say vinyls. Cut that shit out. First, I would look at the cover and I'd be like, "That's a pretty funny cover, man." And then I'd look at the songs, and did the songs did it sound funny too? Especially in the punk rock section. And that's how I buy my records, okay? And I discovered some of my favorite bands that way. Love Songs for the Retarded by a band called The Queers. And I saw that, and I'm like, I gotta check this out. And I flip the back, and I look at the song titles, and I'm like, oh, this is coming home with me. Still one of my favorite records ever made. If you're into punk rock, dude, you need to have that album. What else? Maybe grade 9, grade 10. My local store. The CDs had the rack. The tapes were like dollar bin stuff. And in that dollar bin, in this little town of like 10,000 people tops, okay? In the middle of northwestern Ontario. So what happened to me was, in this dollar bin, I see this tape. Never heard of this band. Kind of got a cool name. The album's called Bad Moon Rising. Hey, I had heard that because I had taken some CCR out from the library before. And I'm thinking, it's got to be something like that, right? Maybe they do like a CCR kind of sounding thing. The band's name was Sonic Youth, which sounded pretty cool, man. So I buy this tape for $1 from the store that really sells Lazy Boys and fridges, but has a corner for music. Coming through from a town like that, you didn't really know what to look for, unless you got lucky and you bought something, and then that led to something else. You could take a road trip down to Duluth and go to this record store called the Electric Fetus, which they would hook you up, and sometimes Winnipeg. And I would say it's like nothing I'd ever heard before. But my parents had some vanilla fudge, and and Iron Butterfly in their collection, and the big 17-minute version of Inagata Vita reminds me kind of Sonic Youth. And Vanilla Fudge, man, was just wild. I remember hearing the first time I put a Vanilla Fudge record on that my parents had, and I think I was listening to Ticket to Ride, their Beatles one of their Beatles covers, and just thinking, you can do that? That's a thing that you can do with music? So I bought that Sonic Youth record, and that leads to other things, right? You read the inlay panel, and you look at the bands that they thanked. So you go check out those bands. And do you like all of it? No, I still don't like some of it. The Melvins are huge. I never understood it. Don't get it. 311, remember that band? What garbage. Having said that, I listen to a lot of stuff that most people would be like, this is bad, dude. I listen to this band called Death Prod, Treetop Drive, and this album makes me happy, man. Just it makes me smile. It can chill me out. It can do just amazing things for me. I play it. My wife and my son, man. 4 or 5 minutes in, they're gonna kill you, and I get it. I get that it's it's different, man. Me and my brother, we would go on road trips or whatever, and you make some tapes for the road trip. And I remember my brother at one point just looking at me and saying, "Do you just pick the weirdest shit for your mixtapes just to fuck with me?" I'm sure there probably was an element of that there. My brother's a hair metal dude, but I like weird stuff.